the Horror Chronicles. Lower the lights and let's begin. A small white farmhouse sits on the east end of a town most Americans have never heard of. The lawn is mowed. The porch is swept. If you drove past it on a Tuesday afternoon, you would think nothing of it. Just another quiet home in a quiet Iowa town of a little over 1,000 people. But step inside, and the guide will tell you exactly where not to stand. Because in one of those upstairs bedrooms, on a June night in 1912, 8 people were murdered in their sleep, and whoever did it was never caught. Not then, not now, not ever. Tonight we go back to where it started, to a family who did everything right and got the ends of the earth in return. Somewhere at the edge of the porch light that night, something was waiting for every lamp in that house to go dark. Josiah Moore was the kind of man small towns are built on. 43 years old, self-made. The sort of businessman who shook every hand on Main Street by name. He had started out working for another man's company and ended up building his own, a John Deere dealership that made him one of Villisca's most successful men and made at least one former employer resent him for it. His wife Sarah, 39, ran their household the way she ran everything, with quiet precision. A woman known for her devotion to their 4 children and to the Presbyterian Church 3 blocks from their door. Their eldest, 11-year-old Herman, was the kind of boy who helped his father without being asked. 10-year-old Mary Catherine was warm enough that 2 younger girls from another family considered her their closest friend. 7-year-old Arthur Boyd and 5-year-old Paul Vernon were still small enough to be tucked in, still young enough to believe nothing in the world could reach them inside their own house. On the night of June 9th, the family came home late from a church service, and Catherine did what she always did. She asked her mother if her friends could stay over. 2 sisters, 11-year-old Lena and 8-year-old Ina Stillinger, girls the Moores had known for years, packed their things and walked the short distance to spend one more ordinary night at their favorite house in town. One by one, the lamps went out. No one heard a scream. The next morning, no smoke rose from the chimney. No one came out to feed the animals. A neighbor named Mary Peckham, a woman who had walked past that farmhouse 1,000 mornings without a second thought, noticed the silence before she noticed anything else. She knocked. Nothing. She knocked again. Still nothing. She let the family's chickens loose out of habit, the way you do when something feels wrong, but you cannot name it yet. Then she called Josiah's brother, Ross. He came. He had a key. He let himself in. He walked through the parlor. He opened the guest bedroom door. And that is where it ends for him, because that is where Lena and Ina were. Upstairs, in every bedroom, the same scene repeated itself. 8 people, 6 of them children, bludgeoned with an axe while they slept, so quietly that not one of them seemed to have woken in time to scream. The killer had covered every mirror in the house with clothing, every single one as if he could not stand to see himself in them. He left a slab of bacon untouched on the floor beside the murder weapon. He left a bowl of water on the kitchen table, tinted pink, as though he had calmly washed his hands before walking out the front door. Josiah's wallet was still full of cash. This was not a robbery. Whoever did this had taken their time. By noon, the town had come apart. Hundreds of people walked through that farmhouse before anyone thought to stop them. Boots, tracking across whatever evidence might have told investigators the truth. Somewhere in that crowd stood people who had watched those 6 children grow up. A Sunday school teacher who had taught Catherine her letters. A shopkeeper who had sold Lena and Ina their penny candy the week before. This was not a headline to them. This was every face they knew, laid out in a house they had eaten dinner in themselves. The suspects piled up with nowhere to go. First, there was Frank Jones, the state senator whose business Josiah had left, taking a lucrative John Deere contract with him. A man with motive and no proof. The house stayed silent. Then came Reverend George Kelly, a traveling minister found wandering the crime scene days later. He confessed in a fever of guilt, then took it back, claiming a demon had forced his hand. Twice put on trial, twice let go, and the house stayed silent. 9 months before Villisca, in a house in Colorado Springs, another family was found the same way. Sheets nailed over the windows, an axe wiped clean and left behind, a blanket pulled gently over the victims' faces. Same signature, same silence. Decades later, a drifting laborer named Paul Muller surfaced, tied to a trail of families no one had ever connected before. A pattern finally, but no proof strong enough to hold. 2 trials came and went. No one was ever convicted. The town buried 8 coffins that week, 6 of them small enough to carry with one hand. And the ones who survived that summer were the ones who had to keep living in a town where the killer's face might have been sitting 3 pews away every single Sunday after. The house changed hands 13 times after that. 13 families, 13 fresh starts that did not take. Some blamed money. Most would not say why they really left, only that something in the house seemed to know when it was alone with them. By the time historians restored the home to its 1912 condition and opened it for tours and overnight stays, the stories already had a life of their own. Guides report a child's voice drifting from a room that is standing empty. Visitors have described the temperature dropping without warning in the upstairs hallway. A cold that moves with them from room to room instead of staying in one place. Paranormal investigators who've spent the night with recording equipment running claim to have captured whispers on tape that no living voice in the house could account for. Fragments of words too faint to fully make out. Guests who stay the night hear footsteps crossing the attic floor above them, in the exact space where investigators believe the killer waited for hours, listening to a family fall asleep one by one. Some describe the sensation of being watched from the doorway of the children's room, a presence that does not cross the threshold but does not leave either. More than one visitor has ended their stay before sunrise, unable to say exactly what drove them out, only that something in the house had made its presence unmistakably known. Then in 2014, it stopped being just footsteps and cold air. A man came to spend the night alone in that house, the way hundreds of visitors had before him. Alone in the dark, with no one else in the building. He took a knife and turned it on himself. He survived, but the story made national headlines within days, and no one could fully explain what happened to him in that house, while the rest of the town slept undisturbed just down the road. More than 100 years later, the town has grown quiet again. Children ride their bikes past that white farmhouse without a second glance. But those who stay the night still describe the same feeling, a presence in the doorway that is always just slightly open, footsteps that begin the moment the lights go out. No one was ever punished for what happened in that house. No motive was ever proven, and at the edge of every dark room inside it, some say something is still waiting, still watching, still waiting for the next lamp to go out. Every story on the Horror Chronicles is real. Like, share, and subscribe. Sleep well, if you can.